Hello, and welcome to the Nora Eccles Harrison Museum of Art at Utah State University, or as we often call it, NEMA. Today we're going to explore our new exhibition, Women, Surrealism, and Abstraction, and discover how art can inspire us to write poetry. This exhibition highlights women who use surrealism and abstraction masterfully in their work. So what are surrealism and abstraction? Let's take a closer look at several artworks in the exhibition, explore these ideas, and see what we can learn.
Surrealism was an art movement that started in the 1920s in France. It explored our subconscious minds, dreams, and irrational thoughts instead of art making about rational ideas and actual experiences. They thought this was a very pure form of creativity and expression. The word surreal means beyond reality. Surrealist works are often irrational, poetic, and dreamlike. This artwork is titled Magic Puppet and was created by Dor Bothwell, who decided that she wanted to be an artist when she was just 4 years old. She was from California and traveled all over the world studying and creating art. Dor Bothwell was known among her colleagues for constantly experimenting with the new styles, themes, and media that she was exposed to during her travels through Europe, Asia, Africa, and Polynesia. This piece is a great example of surrealism. What do you see here that resembles a puppet? Can you see a head, arms, or hands? What colors, shapes, and elements remind you of a puppet? Is there anything you see that makes you think of a puppet moving? The term abstraction, when applied to art history, can be traced back to the earliest cave drawings by humans. However, in the 20th century, artists began to move away from realism and surrealism toward new art movements like abstract expressionism and geometric abstraction. These art styles focus on shapes, colors, and forms. Abstract expressionist painters were interested in gestural marks and creating emotional responses through color, movement, and forms. Those focused on geometric abstraction were interested in using mathematical proportions with color and shape to create a composition, instead of trying to capture something from the natural world, such as a landscape, a person, etc. Abstract art may or may not have little connection at all to the visual or natural world. It can range from completely abstract to abstracting familiar imagery by rearranging, exaggerating, or maybe blurring objects. This artwork by Anna Campbell Bliss is called Spectrum Squared. She studied mathematics in college and often used math to connect color, movement, science, and nature in her art. She lived in Salt Lake City for much of her life and became a pioneer in the realm of computer-generated artwork. In this piece, Anna Campbell Bliss used mathematics to create geometric abstract art with forms, lines, and colors only. The subject is the color, form, line, and nothing more. The shapes and colors are used to express a concept or idea, like order, simplicity, or purity. What words would you use to describe this artwork? What colors do you see? What shapes? Do you see any kind of movement in the artwork?
Many of the artworks in this exhibition are accompanied by poems that were inspired by the artworks. If a realistic painting is like a nonfiction essay, an abstract painting is like a poem. Poetry is free from regular grammatical rules and sentence structures. They often use colorful and descriptive words to help us imagine in our mind's eye. A poem doesn't have to be factual or even make sense. They often deal with ideas that couldn't be expressed with a regular sentence. Using poetry is a great way to enjoy and understand abstract art.
We are going to look at one more piece of art while we listen to a poem written to describe it. This artwork by Betty Woodman is called June in Italy. Betty Woodman started working with ceramics when she was 16 and kept creating ceramic pieces for the rest of her life, gradually moving away from functional pieces like bowls and vases and creating more abstract work like this. The poem you will hear is called Flying by Mary Ellen Greenwood. As you look and listen, think about the artwork and the poem. Does the poem describe what you are seeing? Would you use different words and phrases to describe this artwork? What kind of poem would you create about this piece?
Flying by Mary Ellen Greenwood. They say if man were made to fly, he'd have been born with wings. They forget the summer child astride a bike, who pumps her legs to lift off crest of railroad incline, where silver tracks criss-cut road to soar down asphalt, wind-whipped hair snarling rough, open mouth to feel the tongue, the cheeks, the lips shrivel, parched of slimy spit, taste unlucky gnats. The brave bird knows to lift her arms, remove her grip from handlebars, search for weightless speed, defy the gravity that chains her mother to the ground.
Thank you for joining us here at NEMA to learn more about our exhibition, Women, Surrealism, and Abstraction. I hope you have enjoyed exploring a few of our favorite artworks and connecting art to poetry.